What's up, guys? Welcome to Nature TV. You're here with me, Javi, and I'm here with my guy.
Sam, the one and only, the handsome boy. Um, Today we have a very special guest with us, guys. I feel like I can't do the intros well. I feel like the man should, our sir should introduce himself and let us know who he is, and yeah, we can proceed from there. Sir, we take the platform. Please let them who you are, and you know.
Yeah, Advocate ST Songwane.
Okay, okay.
Yes. Based in Johannesburg.
Mhm.
Yes, my area of practice is criminal law, labor law, and civil and constitutional and administrative law.
Mm.
Yes.
So I wanted to ask, with what you said now, how? How many years did it take you to reach your goal? How many years did it take you to reach where you are as an advocate, a person of law? Did it take a lot of years? Did it come easy? Maybe for someone who wishes to become, I also do what's this history? I do want to become a lawyer soon. When I grow up. So yeah, what would you tell someone like me or someone watching there who wants to come in the world of law in protecting the country? It's the services in how you like. It's all about making the country better. And as the youth, we are the future. So I wanted to ask you, yeah, how was it? How many years did it take you? What are the things that you go through? What's your advice for someone who wishes to join the world of law?
Yeah, as for me, I gained an interest in law because I was an activist, political activist. So in 1990, when Nelson Mandela was released, I got arrested because I was leading the protests of young people. And when I was in the police station, then we were tortured. It's where you saw a blood flowing on the ground, the way we were tortured. There was a white man who was supervising black police officers who were torturing us. And after we appeared in court, I was still very much young because at that particular time I was at the age of 15. So I was even younger than you. But I was activist in politics. I was very active in politics. So courts were still allowed by then to impose corporal punishment. So you see, when you have been tortured, you have got wounds, and now you have to be officially tortured through authorization by the court. So they had to renew those wounds which I suffered during the time when I was being tortured by the police. And that is, I started to see that there is an injustice, and in order for me to fight an injustice, I have to do law. But my first option, it was to do medicine. I never wanted to be a lawyer, but after I've suffered all this ordeal, all this trauma, then I changed my mind and I did law. So doing law is different from now because it was 19, I graduated, I matriculated in 1993. We did not have LLB as undergraduate degree.
Okay.
It was a postgraduate degree. So during those days, you had to graduate in one of other degrees in order for you to become an advocate. Either you do B.Juris or B.Proc, or you have a BA Law or any other degree. Then you would do LLB as a postgraduate degree, and then you would qualify to become an advocate. But now you only do 4-year LLB degree because things have changed. And then once you have passed the LLB degree, you can become an attorney or an advocate. But of course, you have to undergo vocational training in order for you to either be an advocate or an attorney. Yes.
Can I ask you something? I think you and my dad are friends. You guys do speak and you guys have conversations. My dad, like, growing up, like, that's when I started to learn about law, and I saw that, oh, my uncle uh is involved in law, and so is my dad. But does that mean I also have to do law because these people are involved in law? And then that's when I sort of like grew up in a way, and I was like, no, I don't have to do law in order to, like, try to get there, that thing from them that, what, he did it. So I saw that, what, I have to forge my own path and not to follow theirs. Do you, like, as a parent, do you allow, okay,
It's okay.
yeah, for you as a parent, do you allow your children to express themselves, like, freely? Like, you don't tell them you have to do this because I did it, in a way. Do you let them forge, like, their own paths and make their own mistakes? And yeah, that's what I want to know.
Yeah. Yes. You have to listen to your heart. What do you want in life? World has shifted. We are no longer where we were in the past. We are in a world of technology. Social sciences will be irrelevant not long, including law.
True.
And you have heard about artificial intelligence. And you can even see that in law, most of the things can be done through artificial intelligence. You can draft contract through artificial intelligence, and things which were exclusively done by lawyers can be done by artificial intelligence, except court appearance. So my advice is to see the shift in technological development, and you pursue careers which will be in that particular space. You can see, like, for instance, China, how fast are they developing? Singapore, you can see South Korea, you see, it is about technology. You can also see Arab countries like Iran, and our education system in South Africa is still behind. It's actually irrelevant. I don't actually support what we have, because a child wears the whole of 10 years in primary and secondary school only when you are in tertiary level. It is then you have to choose what you want to be, and that is totally wrong. In other countries, a person in a high school will be able to know how a phone is built. If he is in the area of architecture, he will know how to draw up a building plan. But in South Africa, you only start
School.
in the tertiary level, and that is totally wrong. So my advice is you should look at things which are in technology, science and technology. That is where our children have to be. Yeah. Like, for instance, I have my daughter, she is a lawyer now.
Congratulations.
Yeah. But my son wants to pursue
His dreams.
Bachelor of Architecture. Yes. And I'm happy when he wants to do so. Yeah.
Of course. Can I say something?
Wait,
Can add on?
before like
So, yeah.
like the mic, can you like, because now we have problems, can you like hold it like this? Can you just
Or closer, closer, closer,
yeah,
closer.
okay.
Okay. I wanted to ask, as you said, your son will soon do architecture, no? To some parents watching there, it's a thing of in this day and age, it's so the youth is it's different from how your guys' youth was, we tend to come around things like where they smoke, they drink, so anything is possible. So I wanted to ask you because nowadays kids don't really dream to have to do their best things, like they don't have dreams, they're not goal driven. So as how you see your son is, and what's your advice on other kids like boys or girls, like on how to chase their dreams, like because if you do something because you love it, that's where you're gonna achieve it because you know what motivates you. You doing it because you love it and it's your passion. Then you doing something, as you said before, you wanted to do medicine, but unfortunately, due to your circumstances, you chose law because you believe in justice. You understand? So automatically, you fell in love with justice. You fell in love in everyone being, getting fair treatment, and like the law, and bettering the world. So, what's your advice to the kids who feel like they can't express themselves, they can't be themselves, they can't chase their dreams in this day and age? Because of course, science is gonna come about, but of course they can adapt. It's always about the future. So, what's your take on like kids who are packed inside, who are not goal driven, who don't come out of the comfort zone?
Yes.
As a father and as an advocate.
Yes. What I may advise you is you have to understand that alcohol and use of a drug is not a future. A future is your passion in life. What is your passion in life? What has inspired you? Of course, you must look at our founding fathers, like for instance Nelson Mandela, Walter Sisulu, uh, Oliver Tambo. Those were hard workers. And you are very much fortunate because in this modern age, you have a technology like, phones where you can learn a lot other than always browsing through things which do not edify you on your phone. Uh, Remember those days, or even during our time, we have to go to the library in order for us to understand things. Everything you have to get hard copy materials to read from. But you are very much fortunate because you can even get ebooks where you are able
Online
to
on the
read
phone.
everything on your phone.
True.
Your library is on your phone. You are able to understand the world on your phone. We did not have that. But because of spirit of wanting to achieve, then we were able to sit in the libraries the whole day studying. So utilize the advantage of technology that you have because the world is actually with you. So you are able to see the world around you and you can understand the world around you. Yes.
Yeah, the question. I know you came here as an advocate, but to me, when you came here, you came in like you're a human being. I don't wanna put you in a category. And I know you, who you are, your inner you, and your deeper self. Who are you? So, I'd like you to tell me like, how was life? Like growing up, like your name, like how was life growing up, and like the things you went through growing up. the past? Were you able to implement some of the things you learned from the past into the present now, or as you were going through certain things on your journey to become an advocate? Yeah.
You see, I grew up in a rural area where you have to be a head boy, you know, uh, looking after cattle, assisting in terms of plowing, because during those days we had to live on subsistence farming, is where you farm for the purposes of uh, surviving, not for commercial purposes.
Mm.
So you would go to school, but at the same time, you go and look after the cattle that your parents have.
Mm.
So you would do both. In the morning, you go to school, the cattle go and are wandering in the field. After school, you had to have this particular job now of
Sure.
uh, going or looking after the
The
cattle of
catchers.
your parents. Yes. So it was not easy. And even going to school, you have to travel many kilometers. Like where I was used to attend school, I had to move from one village to the other. And traveling to the other village, you have to travel more than an hour before you get to school.
Yeah.
Almost 50 kilometers
A day,
a day.
just to school.
Yes. And because apartheid government did not care about schools which were made for blacks.
Mm.
Yes. So even those schools in villages, then the members of community had to build themselves. They had to do these things, clay, they burn the
Yeah.
clay, and then they built schools for their children. Government was not helping. So good schools were only in urban areas, yes, like for instance in Gauteng. But primarily those schools were meant for whites. It is where we had model C schools which were only attended by whites. Yes, and that was as a result of Group Areas Act where people had to be classified in terms of race.
The racial segregation.
Yeah.
Yes, so it was very, very difficult. It was not like we
Nowadays.
see today. Yes, yeah.
I wanted
And
to
what
ask you a question.
I wanted, what did you learn like from
Oh yeah.
all of that? Like,
Oh yeah. Well, like,
yeah,
what did it teach you? Like, for you to be here,
Mm,
like, it pushed you. Like, what did you learn? Because if it wasn't for those circumstances and what you went through, most definitely you wouldn't be here. Maybe you'd be someone who's doing medicine. With what you're doing now, there are countless lives you saved, and there are many, many more you can save. There's still more you can do in this world. So, with you being here, you know, how like, you know, with what you learned, it brought you here.
mm,
You understand?
mm.
So the question is, how do you feel like with what you went through? At the moment, did you feel like, you know what, I'm doing this because I want to change the environment I want to change everything I see, or I'm doing this because I'm forced to do this? Did you really wanna, you know, did it teach you too many? Did it teach you things that even nowadays you wish, you know what, I would have learned maybe when I was still 19 or 18, then I could have done something much earlier even, you know?
Yeah.
Elaborate more on that.
Yes. Life is not more about regretting what happened in the past. It's forward looking, it's not backward looking. But painful experiences, if you experience painful moments in life, you have to allow those moments to build you. Sometimes, we are built out of the circumstances.
Yeah.
Usually, we are all people of circumstances. So circumstances built us. So what I went through, which were painful moments in my life, actually built who I am. They that could not break me, and especially when you want to be a leader. A leader is a person who is refined through test of time. So, so you have to go through test of time in order for you to be refined. It's like a gold. If you want to have a gold, you have to burn it,
Of course. It
and
has to go
once it
through
has
so.
been burnt, then it gets refined, and then you have a final product. Yes.
Oh, thank you very much. That answers so many questions. I wanted to ask this question since you're a person of law, and something you said reminded me of this. So I saw on the news. I probably you've seen it. It's this thing of Operation Tutula, whereby they target other Africans, people in South Africa target other South Africans, other Africans, sorry, people in South Africa target other Africans on how like they can't go into hospitals because they're not from South Africa. They can't get such privileges as South Africans, you know. What's your take on that? Do you feel like we I know this black white people thing it's always about, but now I just want to say as a black child and as an African, you understand, because we are all Africans in here.
Yes.
I want to say, do you really think we are damaging each other? Because instead of supporting each other in these hard times in 2025, it should be a year whereby in 2026, from then up until it's a better world, we can't keep going back.
Yes.
And now it's the thing of now us who are black people, South Africans are treating other Africans the same way they used to treat black people by the olden days. You know, I wanna ask, what's your take on this Operation Tutula? Do you really think it's gonna make the world better? Because some South Africans think it's gonna make it better by not allowing other foreigners to come into hospitals, that they're not chasing them out of schools, they're chasing kids, they're removing people out of their jobs. If you're not South African, they want to see your ID. If you don't have it, they remove you. Do you really think this is going to help in the years to come, or it's even making things worse? What's your take on Operation Tutula?
Yes. So my view is these are the symptoms signaling failure of leadership in South Africa. We we are South Africa is leaderless. If it were not leaderless, all these things would not be happening. And the people confuse these two conceptions: Pan-Africanism and governance in the country. Pan-Africanism, as it has been uh, pro, as it has been elucidated by leaders like Kwame Nkrumah of Ghana, Julius Nyerere, Jomo Kenyatta. It was about Africa becoming one, where we have one economy, where we have one army, where we have free movement. The whole of Africa be a free trade area. You'll be able to move from Lesotho to South Africa to Zimbabwe, Nigeria, using one passport,
Smart.
as it is happening in your European Union. But now, that cannot be achieved through lawlessness. If borders are not being controlled now, that has nothing to do with Pan-Africanism. We still have sovereign states in Africa, 54 of them. And each state is a sovereign state. It has got its own borders. It has got its own immigration system. And domestically, if there are immigration laws, they have to be enforced. So what we are experiencing in South Africa, it's where immigration laws are not being enforced. Like, for instance, people jump borders, and that cannot be encouraged. It's wrong. But that does not negate that debate should continue about Pan-Africanism.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, in SADC region, we have been talking about making SADC region a free trade area. It's where if you are a lawyer in South Africa, you can go and represent someone in Zimbabwe. You can go and represent someone in Namibia. You can go and represent someone in Mozambique. And but the talks are going on at the moment. But like in East Africa, they've started to have that. They've got one passport. They're able to move from one country to the other using only one passport. But SADC region, South Africa was supposed to take the lead, but we don't have leadership here. Since the time when we talked about African Renaissance and Thabo Mbeki was leading the charge, but the whole of that collapsed. So, of course, organizations or groupings such as Operation Dudola will actually take the charge if there is no one who has to close that lacuna, because there's a lacuna of leadership. So Operation Dudola has to do that. And of course, I don't see anything wrong if the issue is we have these people in South Africa who have not been admitted into the country in terms of the law. Because if something like that happens, is we end up having a situation like South Africa having the rise in crime statistics. At this particular stage, South Africa in terms of crime is like a country which is in a state of war. You know, people who die in South Africa daily are less than people who die in Ukraine where there is war. Are less than not less than, are more than people who die in Gaza and Ukraine where there is a war. So we can't tolerate something like that. You can't have more than 50 people dying in Ukraine where there is a war.
Sure.
But in South Africa, we have more than 50 people who are killed daily. So that is where we are. And some of the things is because we can't control our borders. So failure to control borders has got nothing to do with us being opposing, not supporting Pan-Africanism. But when people are in South Africa, they have to be legal. So yes, then we cannot allow lawlessness. So if you are a foreigner, whether you are a black, you are a white, you come to South Africa, you are undocumented, you are flouting our rules, and that is wrong. It has to be discouraged, and that is what makes groups like Operation Dudola to emerge, and they be able to do something. Yes. Yes.
So it's all for a good cause, because of course if our own leader if we have lack of leadersness, as you
Mm,
said,
mm,
oh,
Like,
uh, oh yeah, yeah. If we have lack of leadersness, of course we are forced to, like, the country is forced to come up with such groups to deal with these things, and so it's actually for a good cause. In what's this in refraining SA, in building it up, in trying to, it's like SA itself is trying to, you know, clean what our leaders can't,
mm,
because of course we can't have a leader, a powerful leader like this, and still we're going through so much things, and we're going through,
mm,
as you said, a lot of people are dying in this country more than countries where they have wars.
mm,
mm,
So with the powerful leader we have, such things that happen, crime rates, people dying, even the youth itself is being affected by this also, because kids are being thrown away out of schools. At the end of the day, it's the parents, because now if the parent is from a different country and they come in and they live here maybe 4 to 5 years and they have a child. Now imagine if the child is here. A child has no problem about this. It's none of their business. A child is just there at school, and now whereby they are being thrown away because of a certain country they're from, and maybe they don't have maybe the documents of SA. So that actually hurts a lot of, it attacks a lot of people. So yeah, what he just said,
must
it's,
be short.
yeah. Any questions you have?
A question I have for you is, since you're an advocate, like, what I saw in my life and what I saw in other people's lives is we are not able to say no. We are scared. You know, it's a thing of like someone who's selling. They're afraid to say no because the person who's asking for that thing is persuasive, or
Mm,
there's that thing about them that you can't say no to. And I want to change that in my life. I want to have the capability to say no. I don't want to do this for you. I don't want, because you can't be always nice to people, because when you are nice all the time, you are giving them that platform to
yeah.
now walk on you and do. For you, have there been like times where you didn't wanna say no, or you couldn't? I don't know, but you're that strength to, like,
To say no, but you're
no.
forced to don't say it. Mm.
Yeah.
yes, as a young person, you must learn to be assertive. Then you, if you don't want something, you have to say no. Whether it is your friends, or you actually have to say no. Yes, because in life, if you actually want to succeed, it's when you are able to be self-assertive, and then you reimagine yourself, you rediscover yourself, and if you rediscover yourself, you will be able to rediscover the purpose for your life. So life is about the purpose.
Mm.
Why are you here? Why are you living? What are you living for? Then you did not come on earth accidentally.
Sure.
Then God created you with a purpose,
Mm.
and you have to serve that purpose. So a success on a young person is to discover your purpose at a very young age, and you pursue the purpose. And once you have purpose, the purpose is about why you are here, why you have to live. What do you live for?
Mm.
Are you living for friends? No, God did not create you for that.
Friends.
But God has created you to serve the humanity. That is what God created all of us for, to serve the humanity. And the talent that you have is a talent which you have to use to serve the human race. And you have to live for that. Okay? Yeah.
Hey, sorry. I wanna spice things up a little bit. Have a few smiles at least to show up on the thing. Like you can't be
Yeah,
always
you can't always be
serious.
serious.
You know,
True,
like
true, true.
for me, like I do have interest. Like I've recently like gotten into like as you were saying back in your days, you guys used to go to the library if you wanted something. I don't like the fact that if I wanna read something, I have to go look at the screen because I'm also affecting my eyes at this time. I can't always be on my phone. I've recently gotten into like DVDs. You know how movies. I don't wanna go to Netflix now. I wanna just have CDs. Read books when I have time. We exercise.
Yeah.
Um, I'm trying to do new things. I'm trying to draw now. I'm trying to see like because me I like art in general because art it decorates the world around us and you like the from the chairs like ladies they like the furniture in the house to be it must
They know how to,
yeah
yeah,
settings. So
yeah.
like for you like as an advocate do you have interest like hobbies like music? You can talk to us about anything that you like.
Yeah. My interest is more in music. Yeah. If you are in my car, it's
Yeah,
always
it's
music.
music.
Yeah. I grew up liking reggae music, and Lucky Dube was my favorite. So when Lucky Dube was killed, people who knew me called me and they were sending condolences to me as if Lucky Dube was my
Yo,
blood brother
sure.
because they knew how I loved his music. Yes, so uh, my interest is more in music, but of course also in sport like football. I watch football.
Your favorite team?
Yeah, my favorite team was Jomo Cosmos, but when Jomo Cosmos started to collapse, then I started to follow Chiefs.
Mm.
Yeah,
Ish. Yeah,
yeah,
Chiefs
but
fan.
I was used to like Jomo Cosmos, and the reason for that it was a strategy by Jomo Sono, especially in empowering people from remote areas. Because if you see some of players of Jomo Cosmos were recruited from remote areas,
Sure.
and most of them became stars and they started playing for Orlando Pirates and Chiefs. So
So it was a good accomplishment for them.
yes, yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. As compared to you know uh, a, a sport leadership which focuses only on urban areas.
Yeah.
Yes, so we actually have to broaden the recruitment of new players. Yes, in the soccer.
This is a very interesting question I'm about to ask. Um, Judging from our advocate here, he's giving us a very good advices, guys. I hope you guys are listening also, because we're gaining so much knowledge. Um, if you had one day to be a president in South Africa, what would you do? What would you change?
Um, Firstly, I would develop a blueprint for South Africa.
Okay.
And the blueprint for South Africa is about vision. We, leadership is about vision. What do you say your own country in the next 100 years, in the next 200 years? I would not be a leader whose mind is always imbued with the next elections. That is why most of politicians are not leaders.
Yeah.
We fail to find leaders mostly in the political space because we don't have leaders. So leadership is about vision. What is your vision? So If I were a president, I will be able to tell people about my vision. That this is what I see South Africa in 10 years. This is what I see South Africa in 30 years. This is what I see South Africa in 50 years. This is what I see South Africa in 100 years. And I would develop a plan to pursue that particular vision.
Implement it one time.
Yes.
Sure.
So South Africa now has got no vision, nothing.
We're just moving,
Yes, we only have a leader who only wants to be,
build his life.
to be only in power, but
Sure.
there is no vision. So that is a failure of South Africa. If you look at other countries like Russia, you go to China, you ask them, what do you want to achieve? What is your vision? They'll tell you a vision of 100 years. So a leader must pursue something which is beyond his life. But if you are narrow-minded, you only pursue something which is only within your lifespan, you are not a leader. You have to see a life beyond you
Sure. For the next generation.
for the next generation.
Oof.
That was nice.
That's powerful. Yeah.
Yeesh. You know, one day, or in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, some of us are going to be parents, and because you are a father and you have responsibilities you have to deal with and things you have to do. It's really painful going into high school, like for example, like grade 8 goes into high school with his friend, and the following year or throughout the month he sees his friends change. Now they're going through changes, they're going with people they shouldn't be going with, they're smoking, they're drinking. Not that there's anything wrong with drinking, like you can drink with your friends, the people you love, but now it's a matter of you never know. It's like the way you said, now a country, you're gonna see it in 100 years, what it's gonna look like. It's the same thing with people. People can see you in 2 years. They see something that you don't see in yourself. And with that being said, I wanna know, like, as a father, like the laws you placed in your household, because with females also they have to learn to respect themselves. With males also they have to learn to respect females. You know, what we were taught, like culture, like we know parents, they don't play, they beat you if you do something wrong, they beat you. And my dad has beat me and there's nothing wrong, and I learned from him. And in my life I've learned that, oh, if I do this, my dad's gonna deal with me. Like, for you as a father, how do you deal with certain things and tell your children this is wrong? Or an advice like you can give to the people watching, like, or the youngster,
he's like one thing I noticed is that adults are fathers. It doesn't matter if you have your own child, it's your own blood or not your own blood. As long as I'm a child, he's like a father to me. You understand? So whoever's watching there could learn so much from you as a father, because you've been there, you've learned the life, you've walked the road. You understand? There's a saying that goes, it says, an old man knows the road, but the younger one moves quicker than the old man. Understand? Meaning, you know things, you've went through things. So if a child does certain things and you could see with man, this would lead them to things that wouldn't be good for their future, and how do you implement them? How do you, for the kids who are listening there, as you are saying, I try to
because you are a parent. To the teens watching, they are gonna be parents in a couple of years. What do you have to say to them? And the wrong, not that it's wrong, but they should be more careful with the actions they take. Yeah, what do you have to say?
Mm, as a parent, I must be an inspiration to my children, and of course to the rest of the world. And families are institutions. The reason why we have families, we are different from animals, is because When people live as a family, they are in the institution. Any institution has its own culture, has its own rules, has its own laws. And out of families, we built the nation.
Yeah.
Without strong families, we don't have a strong nation.
Nation. Sure.
Then the nation which wants to be strong should be a nation which builds families. You know, these units which we call institutions, because it's from these institutions where we are going to have the next presidents or leaders of our country. It's out of these institutions where we are going to have scientists. We one day we need nuclear scientists in our country, and it's only when we have stronger families. So parents have to become inspirations to their children. You see, leadership is not more, if you are a parent, you are a leader. Whether you are a mother or father, you are a leader to your children. And a leader does not make people to do what he wants to happen
Sure.
through imposing fear on them, but it's through inspiring.
Sure.
So leadership is more about inspiration. It's about motivation. If you are a strong leader, even children will
Look
want
up
to
to you.
do
Oh.
everything that you want. You know, not because they're afraid that if they don't do what you want, you are going to inflict punishment on them.
They should
But
be
they
willing.
are doing that because they're inspired to do it. So it's basically what should happen as a father, that you have to inspire your children to study hard, not because you will shout at them if they don't study, but because they're inspired to do so. And who is inspiring them? It's you. They simply look at you as you lead the family, and they see that this is an inspiration to us,
This is the way.
and they are motivated to do anything. So basically it's that. And once we have that type of a parent, we will have children who will be future leaders, and who will understand that whether inside the family or outside the family,
Yeah.
what I should do is I must lead by inspiration. I must inspire people. Let me give you an example. Nelson Mandela, he, he had that leadership of inspiration. People were inspired to do what he he wanted to see happening, not because they were afraid of him, but because they were inspired.
Sure. Through actions also. Through his
So-
actions.
through his actions. So that is a leadership.
Even now, as he's dead, his dream is living on. While
Yes.
We
putting
still.
up-
Yes, yes, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that should be the leadership that we should have. Like for instance, another leader, a very strong leader, is Martin Luther.
Martin Luther King. Wow.
Yes,
Wow.
he was inspiring people to take actions, and not because they were forced to do that, but they were inspired to do that. Then another strong leader, if you study his background closely, is Jesus Christ. You know, he was able to inspire people whom he picked from somewhere. Like he found this one fishing, and then he says, now I must go with you, you will be the fisher of men. He found someone uh, knitting some clothes, and he says, "No, from now onwards, you go with me." So you can see how he inspired people to become leaders.
Mm.
And if you see all those people who followed him, they became strong leaders who are still recognized even
Till
to this day.
today. Till today.
Yes. So a leader must build leaders. If you fail to mentor someone to be more than who you are today, you are not a leader.
Sure.
You are not a leader. So your children should be more than
What we
you.
are.
Yes.
Mm.
Mm. So that is yes. So even in the organization, if you are a leader of organization, you must build people who will be more than you, who will perform more than you, who will achieve more than you. That is a leader.
I wanted to ask you a question. Since you're an advocate, I wanted to ask. Being an advocate is not that easy. You go through challenges, obstacles. How do you feel? How do you cope with it? Because sometimes it can be dangerous. I remember I saw a video from my mom on Facebook. She showed me. Apparently, an advocate was. Oh, sorry. Apparently, an advocate was handling a case whereby the other person won. The person he protected, they found that maybe the other people who knew, like other people outside of the families, sometimes people have connections, bad connections. His life was in danger because of the person he protected. They found out that the person he protected was someone who was bad, so he used this money to protect himself. So he saved a person who did bad things. So in that, his life became in like his life was in danger. So he had to step away from his career to save his own life, because some people even target your life. Come up with people who don't have pure intentions. Like they know they did something wrong. They don't want to atone for their sins. They always want to use money or use tricks to get off the situation. Sometimes you and as advocate end up losing your life. So with all that, how do you cope? Like how are you always pushing? Don't you get scared? Do what's your advice on that? How do you always push through that as an advocate?
Now, a lawyer by profession has to represent anyone. Our constitution says everyone has got the right to legal representation and has to be represented by anybody. And it does not mean that if you are a lawyer, you represent someone who is perceived as an evil man by public. You are associating yourself with the acts of that person. You are only doing your work as a lawyer. And you work on the instructions given to you by that particular person. So, but at the same time, if you are a lawyer, you must have a courage. You must be brave uh, because you are there to to protect the interests of justice, to ensure that there is justice. And of course, if we did not have lawyers, people who are innocent would be in jail. Sometimes we're able to save those people.
Yeah.
Because remember, law is about system. And the role players in court were not there when something happened. It might be magistrate or judge or prosecutor. They were not there. Even a lawyer, we were not there. We rely on what we get as evidence. And there should be a lawyer to assist the party to that particular litigation, and that particular person should be a lawyer. So sometimes people confuse these things, thinking that if you are a lawyer, you are representing someone who is considered to be a murderer, which means you are associating yourself with that particular alleged acts of that particular person you are representing. Sometimes a person can be accused as a murderer only to find out he did not do that.
Sure.
So in a system, we have people, some are serving life sentences and they did not do anything. They're in jail for what they did not do. So people have to understand the role of the lawyer. That the role of the lawyer is to ensure that there is justice. But sometimes even if there is a lawyer, there will be sometimes a failure of justice. Yes. Someone who is innocent may go to jail. You'll find that you did not do anything, you'll be accused of murder, and you'll be found guilty of murder, and you'll be sentenced to life. And you'll be in jail, and you know that you did not do anything.
The miserable.
And there will be correctional officers, social workers, psychologists who will visit you, trying to rehabilitate you. And what can they rehabilitate you for? Because you know that you did not do anything. So it happens. So people must understand that important role of the lawyer. That it does not mean that you are associating yourself with the wrongdoing of someone else, but you are there to play your role so that at the end of the day, justice prevails.
Sure.
Mm.
As I said on Nature TV, we must be fun, and I love there must be seriousness and then there's a time to,
Yeah.
Do you have any questions for us, me and my friend over here? Because Nature TV, we were discussing it, and like Nature TV is a very big thing, Personally, I don't like body chat GPT and stuff because, as you're saying, inspiration.
Yeah.
How am I going to inspire a kid in Morocco, a kid somewhere, if I'm busy using AI to make my artworks or to do this? So, do you have questions for us, like anything, like to be more fun and to be more like, because we just interviewed now. We want you to interview us
We
now.
constantly learn.
Yeah,
we constantly improve also.
We need improvements. So no one is perfect here.
Of course.
We all have our bad sides. It's normal. It's part of life. So yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah. It's when I was coming here, immediately when I saw Sen here, I saw a presenter, a journalist, and I said to myself that I'm in trouble today because I've got journalists here who have to put tough questions to me.
Before you arrived, you said, no, man, this guy's an advocate. You have to give him some serious
things. True, man. Serious.
Yeah. And I'm actually happy to see you in this studio. So I actually want to know from you, both of you, that what is your vision about this good work that you are doing? Because I actually want to see this becoming something big in the country and in the world, and you contribute in media space. We were used to consume only message from one mainstream media.
Yeah.
But now we have got an opportunity to have something like this.
Sure.
Yeah.
Can you please start, brother? You always start.
Say Nature TV, it started off small. It was just a way. I was sitting in my room and I was like, interviews and podcasts and things like that. They don't excite me. They're always indoors in a house. outside. When God did all the things he did, he was outside. When he moved the waters, he was outside. So why must we always be indoors? So I have big goals for Nature TV because Nature TV, I feel like, when a child is born, we must get them at a young age from when they're in crash. Their mindset must, it's a matter of really think. Nature TV, I was even telling him that it can even be a political party if we want, like body ANC and things like that. It's a matter of nurturing them at a young age. For example, in South Africa, like you were saying, I was sitting in my room and I was like, I don't want AI. You could find that Nature TV, we can work with the president or things like that. We could say like technology, like it shouldn't be downsided, but like it is not allowed for you to use AI or overtrade mosebetsi wa school and things like that. You must think for yourself. If we must implement things like when it's time to sleep, you must go to sleep. You must know when to look at your phone. You must know how to take care of yourself for the ladies and the males, because in South Africa, there's never been a female president. The females, I feel like, there's nothing wrong with being in love and things like that, but for a man to talk to you a certain way, how does that make you feel? We wanna make people independent, like as you were saying now, the world and things like that. We wanna have the opportunity to go to other countries and to talk to other people and to talk with the president and see like is there something we can change? Because in South Africa, if our presidents are doing what they are doing, and now I don't know if you heard about Mr. Mkwanazi if he's putting out all these files, it means other countries also they have hidden files that have not been revealed.
Sure.
So Nature
Sure.
TV, it's a matter of conversations because in the world people are not aware that certain things they're doing they are wrong. And with you here, it might seem small to others, but it's actually a big thing. The people we've interviewed so far, they are building what Nature TV is going to be. The mindset, it's all about the mind. You see, when the mind is correct, everything. So me, I feel like, say, Nature TV, I want it to be, because I like magazines and books and things like that. I want things to be more physical. Like the physical side must be more than the digital side. The digital side mustn't be. Because as my mom was saying, you'll find that one day they're gonna wanna inject the females and things like that, and now they won't be able to be pregnant anymore. Now we have to buy babies. You see what I'm saying? It's a matter of the mindset because it's about seeing where other people like they can't see. So it's about being broad. So Nature TV, I feel like it's gonna be a very, very, very big thing because we are outside. We are communicating more. We are free. Because when you're indoors, you feel more. It's like when you're at school, and there's nothing wrong with like being piled up with a lot of kids, but to be outside, we can think and we are free. Like we are one with Mother Nature, and yeah, that's all I have to say. Because Nature TV, wow, it's just too much, man.
Wow. Ish, I feel like you said most of the things. Ish.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ish, so with what he said, Nature TV, man, it's a place of hope and positivity. I remember the first time I met him. I promise you, say, I was the person I am today. I'm very proud. I'm also grateful to God. He gave me a very wonderful friend. And me meeting him and him meeting me was a sign. It was God bringing us together.
Yeah,
because
you are building something
you understand
great. Yeah.
so much, and what we see in ourselves, we wish to see in other teenagers. Because the way we are now, we wake up, we gym, we learn a skill. I feel like we never ever want to limit ourselves. We always want to be goal driven. At times like these, South Africa should be evolving. South Africa should be, it's like we should hit them with a surprise. No one is expecting kids to come up with these things and help other kids. Imagine if this could be so big to the point where in 10 years time the youth essay will change itself. It will be different because we're working on ourselves. We are not perfect. As I always tell him, where I live, I'm renting with a single mom. And I'm very grateful to my mom. She provides, she does so much for me, and that's what also pushes me so much. I'm goal driven. I want to change her life. So I know there are other kids out there who are suffering. I don't mean like suffering, but struggling. It's a thing of you can be born, being born poor is not a problem, but dying poor, that's where it's a problem because you choosing your destiny, you choose your future. Understand? You choose who you associate yourself with. And me, with being his friend and him being my friend, the things we talk about, there are the things we're still working on. We consistently grow up and consistency. We want to see this to other kids what we have now, and we breaking the shells, man. We trying to be, who's that leader, Black Consciousness,
Steve Biko.
Steve Biko. You understand? Steve Biko. I feel like what he did, we here because of him also.
He laid the blueprint.
You understand? We here because of him. We here because of God. Things happen for a reason. Then they never only happen just because they happened. And I feel like there's still so much more to do in this country. There's still so much more to accomplish. As you said, I could be the newest scientist. He could be the best engineer. Someone's daughter out there or son who's watching this could be the child who actually invents
something new,
a cure for HIV, a cure for AIDS. But them being in the room, them being closed up, not being outside like nature, because when you're outside you think, you refrain, you meditate. It's all about the mind also. When that child leaves that comfort zone, they could be the one to change the world. We have sicknesses like HIV, we have so many things. These things, there is a cure. We can accomplish these things. It is possible. And if we used to walk, became horses, and there were cars, and now we have cars like these, why can't we create cars that fly? Why can't we train the kids from a young age, have institutions? I remember when he said he sees this channel as a cult or something. Like, why not grow them while they're still young? Imagine us at this age, what we're trying to implement. Imagine a child who's 8 years old or 10 years old with the mindset we have, driven, try to make things better. Our country would be so much greater than what it is now.
Can I say something?
So,
So with Nature TV, we consume too much, We should, as I was saying, Nature TV could be an institution where we teach children how to grow, plant, go back to the olden days. As they were saying, there was a time they were saying our military, they went to another country, but unfortunately things didn't go well. We can focus on physicality. What can we do in terms of fighting, how to endurance?
Girls,
Girls must also learn how to fight,
defend themselves.
And I feel like
rape,
we shouldn't be dependent on other countries with certain things. We must, for example, with the making of cars and with the making of certain things, certain countries must come to us. We mustn't go to them more. So yeah, that's what I.
And nowadays it's females are more in danger than males, because we tend to come up cases where there's rape, maybe someone was head mentality, and they were head mentally, and they do things, and there's this other case, for sure about it. There was a child who was raped, I don't know, 12 or 11. Apparently the case was like it just ended on air. You understand? We can't be having these things in the country, actually in the world. This is not only in SA. I feel like this channel and this what we're doing here, it's also international. Times like these, we're supposed to, the world's supposed to become better. There's wars, imagine if all of these bad things, negative energy, all these, the bad things were not in this, would be living. So, it's so much. I remember I was at the park after gymming. I met this other white guy. I'm friends with him. He told me, when he was my age, or like 20 or 21, he traveled and he met someone who was from SA. His close friend was from South Africa. He was a different race. He was black. And this thing also about black, white, and racism, it's only in SA. Because in other countries, if I would see him in a different country, I'd be like, you know what? Wow. You push to the point where you left the country and look at where you are now. You're in a different country. You're even doing so much well for yourself. It's no more about racism anymore. It's about how can we make our lives even better.
That's true.
You understand?
Yeah.
Because now all that negative energy is left in SA. Now we all goal driven. Because you in Europe, I'm in Europe. You know what? No man, let's push and make it to USA. Understand? No man, let's push to make it to Spain somewhere. Let's expand this. You know what we feeling and what we are building. We can, you know, it can be international. So
Yeah. Let's not
yeah, it moist
Do
too
you
much.
have anything you'd like to say to us and to the people watching?
Any advice
About
for the youth?
something that
Yes, yeah. I think firstly, I'm very much excited about your initiatives, yeah, and do everything to the best of your ability. The sky is the limit. You know, Martin Luther once said that don't allow anybody to make you feel you are nobody. And in whatever you do, you have to excel. Do as if there is no other day for you to do it, and you have to do it. He says if you are a sweeper, sweep in such a way that when God looks at what you are doing, he pauses and say, there walks
My
the
creation.
best sweeper.
God.
So if you are in a media space, from your humble beginning, do it in such a way that if people look at what you are doing,
Yeah, it's still on. Don't worry. Continue.
yeah,
What you
they
doing?
will pause and say, there were the media, the best media people. So excel in what you are doing.
mustn't limit yourself.
You don't have to limit yourself. Anything is possible. There is nothing that is not possible, as you were saying that you know, in the past we thought that certain things are impossible, but
Sure,
today we
look at
can see
today.
that they are possible. Who knew that by today you will be able to go to the search engine, you print any word there, and then it will give you answers.
Sure. Who knew?
Yes. So in any area of your talent, do to the best of your ability. And the most important thing in life is to make you valuable. What makes a person succeed is not for you to have a lot of money. Money follows someone who is valuable. You only make yourself valuable and people will follow you. They are not going to follow you because of how you look, you know. They are going to follow you because of your value. There's a value in you. And this is for you to make yourself valuable, to make this media station valuable.
Sure. Yes, thank you very much. You know, I feel like you should also tell them again who you are. I feel like they're forgetting who you are.
Yeah.
You're a very wonderful person. You know, a wonderful teacher, also father, leader.
Yeah.
You know, we are very honored that you came in, and this is a very big, it's a very big step for us. You know, having an actual an advocate, it's very inspiration to us. We feel like this is the start of our heights. You know, we learn and we teach. You know, it's never about age. You know, me being here, I learned from him. You learn from me. I learn from you. So we very much appreciate this. Any last words? Any last words before we close up?
Sir, before I end it off, you know, fear, it holds us back. You have anything you have to say about fear, and then we can let you go. You know, fear, it keeps us in the closet. We don't wanna come out. You know, there was a day days where I was scared. Then I met him, but I was already out of my closet. But when I met him, I became more open. Do you have anything to say about fear and like inspire them? Tell them that you know what, fear like it can't hold us back. We have to.
Look, fear is the thing that each and every person must defeat, must overcome. Because fear is something that holds us back. We actually have to leave fear behind. Of course, naturally, anyone will have a fear, but what you want to achieve in life, once you have discovered that, it has to be something that you are willing to die for. Let me give you what Nelson Mandela said. He says, I fought against white domination. I also fought against black domination. I cherish to live in a country where everyone will live in peace and harmony. And this is an ideal which I am ready, if need be, to die for. So, when a person has discovered himself, is when you have discovered something in life which you are ready to die for. So, all powerful people who ever lived on planet Earth, it is those who discovered something which they were ready to die for. So, if you are a young person, you actually have to discover something which, even if someone comes with a gun, you will be able to say, I'm ready to die for this. There is where a success is. You see, Nelson Mandela walked from prison cell to become the first black president, holding an ideal which he was ready to die for. So this should also apply to you and to other young people. Discover an ideal which you are ready to die for, and that will be a success. If that particular ideal is for you to build a particular business in a particular sector, you have to stand and you be ready to suffer for that, and if need be, to die for that.
Sure. Thank you very much. Please let them know who you are. And
Advocate ST Longwan.
sure. Thank you very much, Advocate ST Shangwani. Any last words, Makhabani?
Guys, we are really thankful for Advocate Flongani being here. He's really changing our lives, and you know, I hope you listen to the words he gave us, and maybe you can implement them in your life now, starting from today, so that you can become the better version of yourself. And yeah, guys, stay positive and yeah, be yourself.
Yeah, guys, this here is an example of anything is possible, guys. Starts with the smallest steps, You don't rush it, and you won't stop now.
Yeah,
We promise we won't stop now. We'll keep pushing, and it's all for the best of the world, man. We wish to be international. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for viewing. Much appreciated, and thank you very much.
yeah.
You know,
Thank
this is
you.
this is a privilege, man. This is a privilege. And yeah, guys, catch us in the next episode and be with us. Thank you very much. We out. Sure. Sure. I say thank you very much for your time.